light, and love to you, and welcome to the Brave Heart Healing Channel. I am the lovely Kiana Nicole. Welcome. If you're new to the channel, definitely go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. Well, peace to all. I wanted to come forth here and give my take on the No Kings protests that occurred yesterday over 50 states and 3,000 cities across America. I want to come forth here and talk about the pink elephant in the room. Let's talk about the hypocrisy of these protests. These protests are nothing more than a ploy for, others and individuals who consider themselves white to pat themselves on the back to say that they did something. These protests are an embarrassment. You may ask, why is it an embarrassment, Kiana? Well, it's filled with hypocrisy on so many different facets and levels, and they're not doing anything. You have all of these others, and I'm so goddamn proud of the so-called Negro black people of this land for not going out there and being with these clowns, because it's exactly what they look like. They look like clowns, dressing up as frogs. One, I saw him holding hands singing Kumbaya, and this land is your land, this land is my land. It's stupid. It's a folk show. This is a peaceful gathering. They're not a threat. When you are not a threat, you are not going to get anything done within this establishment. They're holding hands, singing Kumbaya, and this land is your land, this land is my land. They've got these stupid signs. It's craziness. And the hypocrisy of the whole thing is, when it comes time for the so-called black man and black woman to protest, they bringing out the guard, they bringing out the tanks, they bringing out the dogs, they bringing out the hoses and all of that, because they know when we protest, we coming to show up and show out. These protests do nothing. You have a protest every 4 months for this, and this does nothing. They're laughing at these people. Right? And I get their whole thing. Oh, well, we want to get out here and we want to protest to make sure that our voice is heard and all this crap. No. Because when they should have been standing up for righteousness and doing the next best thing because it wasn't affecting them, they turned the other way. And so anybody who comes onto this page or to this particular video and say, well, why didn't I see a whole bunch of black people? Where are the black people? Why aren't the black people protested? Because we protested enough. We protested not only for ourselves, but for others. And yet no one came to our rescue. No one came to our aid. No one is still coming to our aid. And I don't align myself, nor does the so-called black man, black woman. At this point in time, we are not aligning ourselves with the Republican Party or the Democratic Party, because they're both the same damn bird. Okay? And, we have to think back. Think back, y'all. Think back to the civil rights movement and all of the brothers and sisters who were, again, walking peacefully, holding hands, singing, "We shall overcome." They were peaceful. No, they were met with the guard, met with guns at their heads, met with water hoses, met with dogs and billy clubs upside the head, busting their head open to the white meat show, blood gushing out. This is what our ancestors had to go through. And you have punk, idiot, selfish, white privileged people patting their ass on the back because they getting out there to protest. That ain't no protest. That's a festival. That's a gathering. That's a folk fair. We had Bruce Springsteen up here in Minnesota. It's a damn show. And a ploy where everybody trying to get in the front about whatever. You got the Democratic Party for sure back in this. I see all these immigrants and illegal people there. Like I said, I just watched the video and I'm just sick of it because it's not doing anything done. It's not getting anything done. All you they're doing is holding up space. You are not a threat to their establishment. When we have things like this go on, this is the George Floyd protests and riots that occurred. You know, when you get meat with things, you have to respond accordingly. And we weren't taking it anymore. Individuals weren't taking them bringing the guard out. We didn't care. People did not care that they brought that guard out. We made them uncomfortable. You have to make individuals in power speak truth to power by making them uncomfortable. No, everybody at these protests, these No Kings protests, are going back to their luscious jobs, their suburban houses, get up to go to work tomorrow at Monday like nothing ever fucking happened. Excuse my French, but it's the truth. They have that privilege where our backs were against the wall. We didn't have no privilege. We had to do what we needed to do to get what we needed to be. And we're at that time now. It's a horror show. And they think that they're really doing something. They're not doing anything but being laughed at and gonna be targeted. You know? And that goes for everybody that participated in these protests. You're going to be considered, you know, the enemy of the state. We already know how that goes. We public enemy number one. So it's you know, it's null and void for us. We already know. But they really think that they're out here doing stuff. And then they have all this news coverage. Oh, they were in St. Louis and Chicago and Philly and Atlanta and all these other. Let me tell you something. I talked to a friend of mine yesterday in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. On the north side, they tried to get started with having a protest there. In the hood, y'all. They really trying to have us get out here in the street. In the hood. Guess what? When no black people, even though they were on the black people neighborhood side, no black people participated. What did they do? Hold signs, waving at cars. We're not going for their stuff anymore. This is stupid. What is this solving? What is this supposed to do? How is this shutting the system down? How are their demands being met? No, everybody went home. It was planned. They had a concert and everybody's going home to get ready for work tomorrow. You see the hypocrisy in that? This whole thing is ludicrous. Let me know what you think in the comments. Were you around any protests? Did you see any protests where you are? Tell me deeply what you guys think about these protests, because I think they're stupid. I think they're not solving anything. I think it's full of hypocrisy. And now that it's affecting them, now they want to be out in the street. Oh, but when it was time for us to get our rights and get understood and how we were being brutalized, they sat silent. So we sit in silent. We're done. But let me know what you think in the comments. Peace, light, and love.